I think I'm going to go home. I'm going to go rooting through my closet for anything that's got a stripe, and I'm just going to burn it.
Anything with a stripe.
Stripes of any variety. Burned.
Particularly black and white stripes?
Yes,
oh,
particularly
okay. So
those ones.
That Halloween zebra costume that
yes,
you have.
bad news.
All right. I actually have well, I think I still have a referee shirt somewhere. Maybe I should wear that some night for you. We might not be friends after that.
That would be pushing some limits for sure.
So, Peckham's not happy with the referee. Shocker. I mean, you're never happy with the referees.
Well, that's not true.
Even when we win.
No, come on.
I challenge you to tag me in a video where you said the referees are doing a great job tonight.
I think we actually, if we look back into the archives of this show, I have said that on occasion. I would never want to be a ref because it's
I've heard you say
thankless job.
Yes.
And frankly,
I still don't know who Frankly is, but
stop calling me Shirley.
Stop calling me Shirley.
But when the refs make that much of a difference in a game, then I have a problem. You know what I mean? Keep the peace. Let some hockey happen. And preferably avoid people getting horribly injured.
So are you saying that the score that's 2-1 right now is not our fault?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay. So let's talk about that then. Why is that clock up there showing 2-1 in favor of Owen Sound attack? It didn't quite have the same period as first.
No.
Did we get intimidated a bit? I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I think
up
there. the thing that came to my mind when I was watching that particular period and not cursing at the referees was
which part was that?
Our passes were not as
they were short.
They were not as strong and crisp as they were in the first period. I mean, they were passing to the guy to keep that four-row momentum going in the first period, and we lost that. They're passing it blindly. They're passing it into each other's feet.
We
or
definitely
they're
weren't as focused as the first time.
passing behind the intended player, which makes them stop to come back to the puck. And you just can't do that. That's not the way it should work.
So we need to go back to period one.
We need to go back to period one. We need to play disciplined, fast-paced hockey where we control the pace of the game. We take it to them in their zone, and we spend our time trying to solve their goaltender. I think that's, that's the thing. It's, you call it old-time hockey or whatever you want. But, I mean,
I call it just getting back to the basics. Fundamental hockey.
Fundamental hockey.
Fundamental.
But, I mean, they're knocking us off our game here a bit. And I think that's just, that's part of the problem.
But how did they knock us off their game? Was there intimidation out there? Did we get tired? Did we...
well, maybe a little bit of everything, Dave,
yeah.
I think, and then, they didn't take, some of these, I hate it. Honestly, I hate harping on refs. But they've made such an impact in this game.
They set the tone there.
They set the tone.
I think they set the tone in the first period.
Dramatically lopsided.
Okay.
Dramatically lopsided. And I just don't think that's right.
Well, no.
If you're going to call something on one team, you got to make sure you're calling it fairly for both teams.
Right. Well,
because they're just as guilty.
I would like to think that
for
they
a
wake
lot
up
of that stuff
and go,
as
we're going to
we
be fair here. I don't think they're thinking, well, hey, we're going to, I mean, you hear that. You're like, oh, they're out to get us. I don't think any referee wakes up and says, oh, we're going to we're going to be hard on that
and
team.
I'm not suggesting that that's the case. But if they're going to make a call, whatever it is, maybe they just don't like slashing today.
Right.
Well, then you call it fairly. If you see both teams doing it.
There's the key. If you see it. No, I mean, hey, we got two eyes. We don't have it in the back of the head.
I've seen it.
Yeah. But you're not skating around at whatever speed and looking.
You're right.
This.
The reason it's 2-1 is because Peckham did it.
I think most would believe that. I think people would buy into that, actually.
It's all my fault.
It's all because you said you were, well, I guess maybe you could blame it on me. I said he predicts a win. Then you said you were optimistic. Are you still optimistic at this point of the game?
Well, if we can come back
I know you want to say yes, but are you?
We've had a couple of good third period performances.
Seems to be our strength.
Yeah.
For the last 20 years.
we're only down by one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One goal. We're right back in this game. And, I don't even think we're even out of this game just at this point. I think.
No, definitely not. There's 3 periods, right?
Yeah.
But
so if we have a good third period, I think I'm still optimistic.
I did see a few times, maybe you'll agree or not, where I saw the puck and about 5 guys on the Sarnia Sting all together trying to grab that puck. Did you see that same thing? More than once.
Well, and I saw us
and I'm like,
crossing into the forward zone, and our guys tripping over our other guys.
Yes, that's
at the blue line.
And that is where I think the Owen Sound took advantage of that fact. That's what happened when they got the next goal.
Yep.
We were nowhere really to be found. So thank you, Ben Gaudreau, for doing your best.
And he's made a couple of terrific stops out there.
Oh, wow. Owen Sound had some total
breakaway type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and some real they're charging him. Like the Owen Sound are charging right at him when they've got that puck. And, thankfully for Benny, right? But so he's done well, right? But, I mean,
he's kept us in this game is what he's done.
For sure. Okay, so now we've got to stop cluttering. We've seen in the corners there, right? We in the past, and I can say the past, I'm going back last year, we didn't win a lot in those corners. It seemed like in the Sioux there we were, but we're not really winning those corners here today because we're all hanging out together.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and 100%. I mean, it's hard to do anything when you've got that much traffic going on, right?
Yeah.
And
I have seen us try it out a little bit.
You're leaving nobody open to get past two. You got no eligible receivers. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, you can have the best. You can have all the Tom Brady's you want, but if there's nobody there to catch it,
exactly right.
No, I understand that.
Same gig, and especially if you're going to pass it at the guy's feet, or you're going to.
Yeah, you can't just throw it that general direction.
No,
there has to be a focus. Yeah,
I
think Owen Sound got in a holy
my buddy
Mr. Baz.
Yeah.
I think the Owen Sound got a little bit in the heads of the Sarnia Sting that period when I don't know, they just seemed to be more aggressive towards us that time, and maybe we got scared.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because. The question, did you see the one penalty that Owen Sound did get?
Yes.
Buddy dropping the gloves. Yeah. He goes up, and our guy didn't even react.
Right.
So Buddy goes away for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's keep, I'll take that every day of the week.
And that's the smart move right now.
Sure it is.
Because they want us to go, they want us to take them on that way.
Absolutely.
That's when we lose, especially at 2-1 right now.
Yep.
We're out shooting them by about 3, so it's pretty much even Steven out there. So I don't know. I think it's a tough third period ahead for sure.
Yep.
I think the Sarnia Sting got a taste of what the Owen Sound are really capable of doing.
I
think the Owen Sound did what they know they're capable of doing that they didn't do in the first period.
They certainly did not.
So now third period is like, well, it's do or die season right now, but So they've got to spread out more. They've got to play their positions, right? We didn't see a lot of that.
And I would bet you that's the messaging that's
I
going
would think
on
so.
In the dressing room right now. So I'm fully optimistic about, us having another good third period.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've had a couple of really good third period performances. Lots of great stuff that's happened in the third period.
Sure, come here. How do you say no to a guy who's drinking beer? Here you go.
Absolutely.
Come on in here. Yeah, we're live.
All right. Hey, fellas, go Owen Sound! Yeah!
Oh, boo, kick that guy out of
well,
here.
you should-
I should have known with the jersey, right?
The jersey, come
Right.
on, man.
I wasn't paying attention. Go Owen Sound. We're kicking him to the back of the bus on the way home. Oh, I fell for that. It's late. It's past my bedtime. That's why. Nice to see the Owen Sound fans here, though, right?
Yeah,
and they do
100%.
travel a bit to get here, right? Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a Sting trip in here at some point this season.
Well, I saw our friend Dave McGregor. I don't know if you know him. He put out in the Sting Nation Facebook group. He's looking for people who want to do a road trip. So check that out. And if you want to be able to ask your questions to the players or the coaches post-game, keep an eye on the Sarnia Sting Facebook page. You'll have that opportunity to do that with post-game. If you had the coach tonight, Jay,
yes.
and you could ask him a question, what would that question be? Coach Letang.
You put me on the spot
I know, but
here.
I thought you liked that.
I think what I'd probably be asking him about sort of that what's their practice, sort of like going into a game when they've got game tape on the other team and stuff, sort of thing. Do they focus on one or two things, or are they putting together sort of an overall?
Yeah.
Do they coach specifically for the team they got coming up?
Oh, I see.
And if so, what is it about?
So you've got your
Owen
existing
Sound?
systems that are general, but
Yeah.
you see specific things.
Yeah.
And then
what
you
is
work
it
on
that you
those
go
things.
after Owen Sound with?
All right. Okay. All right. Well, if
Is
I
that
get
a good? Is that a good question?
well, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to see who we get tonight.
Sure.
I might mention that if I get the chance. All right. Well, 2-1 right now, favoring Owen Sound attack. The Sting have to come out and turn on their attack here at Lambton College night here at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. And, well, we're just going to see.
Stay out of the box.
Stay out of the box, right? We do have that problem.
That might be hard, though, because they're battling a two-front war here.
Well, if they turn it down like you said they did before when the gloves were dropped, then we might be okay. We'll see what happens. All right, don't forget, post-game, as I mentioned before, and we'll see what happens. We'll have the updates for you, and then we'll go from there, and then we're back here Friday night, I guess, right? So,
100%.
But let's focus on tonight and come out with another win, because so far the Sting are having a great season. I'm David Burrows on behalf of the Sarnia Sting, and this is my friend, Jay Peckham.
Go Sting, go!